My name's Duddy, it's all builds and stuff. Today's video is a Caliban's Hand Hunter build. You do not need to get a kill to proc the ignitions with this specific gear set. Caliban's Hand, really awesome exotic. You're going to blow things up. Your knife scorches with the Apostate's Blade gear set. This comes from the Pit of Heresy, and the 4-piece bonus states while you have Radiant, Restoration or Cure, your melee releases a burst that will scorch the target. And of course, this works insanely well with Caliban's, because Caliban's Hand sometimes does not get you the kill with the knife. That doesn't matter with this gear set because you'll still cause the ignition even if your knife doesn't get the kill. And this exotic and this build literally clears out rooms in Grandmaster content or Vanguard Conquest, whatever you want to call them nowadays. High level stuff, guys. Your knife will clear out entire rooms, and we've got some awesome ways to cause infinite scorch on top of the knife, what causes infinite easy scorches. So stay with me if you want to see how to blow up a full GM room. I'll break the video down. So we'll start off with the gear set, the Apostate's Blade set. You get this from the Pit of Heresy. 2-piece regenerative threshold. Performing a finisher stores power. The next time your shields are broken, consume stored power to immediately heal and start health regeneration. And the 4-piece is where it's at. While you have Radiant, Restoration or Cure, your melee hits release a burst that will scorch the target. So it auto scorches. We'll take a quick look at what the 2-piece does. When you get a finisher, you're going to see on that left hand side something called regenerative threshold. You've got that stored. Now if you take a lot of damage or you break your shields, it's going to kick in. So I'm going to show you that working now, that regenerative threshold. If you just keep an eye on my health here, once your health gets to a certain amount, once you break your shields, it goes to red. It does kick in, you start healing straight away, and your health will regen. Take a look at that. So it's pretty decent. It's not too bad for a 2-piece. It gives you 20 HP and your health begins to regenerate straight away. And what the 4-piece bonus does, it makes all your knives scorch, no matter what knife you've got. Not every single knife on a hunter scorches, but if you're Radiant, you've got Cure or Restoration, it will make the knife scorch. So no matter what knife you use on a hunter, the Fanfire one that scorches, the other two don't actually scorch. So it's just nice to have that scorch effect on every single knife. This is absolutely crucial for Caliban's Hand, and I'll explain why in a moment. So every single knife will scorch. It's exactly what it does. While Radiant, Restoration or Cure is active, the triggered Solar Blast deals 20 damage and 30 with Ember of Ashes. Scorch within 7 meters. So, like I said, any single knife will apply that scorch. And what happens if you use the Fanfire knife, because that already scorches, well, you actually get a double scorch. So it actually doubles up on the scorch damage, which is pretty cool, which I'm going to show you now. So I haven't got the gear set procced, I've got no Radiant or anything like that. And you can see there's no ignitions. And if you just take a look at the number, it is for around about 630, 640, something like that. I'm going to make sure I'm Radiant in the next clip. And I'm going to apply that Scorch. And you get an ignition, like every single time, basically, once you're Radiant. And it hits for 1333. Obviously, that's the ignition damage. So it is a boosted damage. And you are inflicting more Scorch. And very obviously, guaranteeing an ignition. And this obviously brings me on to the proximity knife. This one, while you're Radiant or Cure again, will obviously scorch. The proximity knife is very, very good. I really like to leave this one lying about. I've always wished it scorched. Now it does. The proximity knife, you can sort of throw it a little bit like a trip man. It'll lay on targets, lay on nearby surfaces until something walks into it and explodes. It works exceptionally well with the Caliban's Hand. Your proximity knife scorches the target it damages with its explosions or ignites on a final blow. After throwing a proximity knife, you gain increased melee regeneration until the knife explodes, gain a small amount of melee energy when you scorch damages the target, and ignition final blows fully refund melee energy and can overflow into additional knife throws. So, with Caliban's, the problem is with it over the last maybe 4 or 5 years since it first come out, is you've needed to guarantee to get a kill with your knife to make that proc. Now with this gear set, you don't actually need to guarantee a kill. You can actually just scorch the target, and if it doesn't get the kill, it will still cause an ignition. And that's because of this 4-piece gear set applying Scorch. Your Calibans is applying Scorch to your knife, and the gear set is also applying Scorch to your knife. So there you go. You don't need a kill with Caliban's hand anymore, as long as you are Radiant, Cure, or got Restoration going with the gear set, which I'm doing there by picking up an orb, or that's a seasonal artifact perk. You don't need a kill look, and it's easy ignitions, and these ignitions with solar fulmination are absolutely monstrous. You can clear out full Grandmaster rooms, hard level content. Master Lost sectors are a joke. You can literally just throw your knife and complete the game. I'm getting Radiant by this seasonal artifact perk from the Hunter's Journal, Radiant Orbs. While you have a solar or prismatic subclass equipped, picking up an orb of power will make you Radiant. And then the big boy, what makes a big difference is solar fulminations. Your ignitions do increase damage and increase radius. So I just want to show you what the other thing does with Caliban's hand. You'll notice my knife regeneration there. It's not too bad, but when you start scorching targets with whatever weapons you want to use, I'm running the heirloom, or from your abilities, you get some insane fast knife regen. Plus you can also dodge and get your knife back on a hunter as well. So once you apply Scorch, you're going to start getting some crispy knife regeneration straight back. And if you get the ignition, you're going to get it straight back. And additionally, you can actually get sometimes an extra knife to throw as well. So it feels really nice. I highly recommend running a weapon that's got high sort of ignition capabilities. Something like Heirloom or Burning Ambition weapons. Bulwark or aim down sights for a period of time to overcharge the next bolt fired. Increase the damage and the area of effect for each bolt charge level. And this weapon fires unstoppable explosive bolts. The Catalyst will give you incandescent. Now you also do extra damage when targets are scorched. You get like an extra 10-20% extra damage when they're scorched. This thing hits like an absolute truck right now, guys. Heirloom, it's really, really good. So I'm just going to show you some brief examples. That knife got a kill. You'll notice my Radiant runs out here, so watch what happens when I'm not Radiant. That knife does not cause an ignition. So you need to be Radiant. This is proof that the 4-piece is working perfectly. So watch there. I wasn't Radiant, and that knife does not scorch the target enough to cause an ignition. But when I'm Radiant, even if you don't get the kill, you're still going to cause the absolute nuclear explosions. So a really good gear set for hunters. I've obviously got some Grandmaster gameplay to show you as well, which we'll do in a second. But I remember when these exotics first come out, there was absolutely naughty. Like, and then something along the way, I think enemies got a little bit tougher. Primaries started doing less damage to things in harder content and stuff like that. And they sort of fell off because the proximity knife was always a little bit weak and we couldn't actually get the kill. This is where it fixes it now. This gear set will fix that problem. And the utility, the use, and how good it is and how useful this build is so good. You can literally just clear spawns just by throwing your knife. You've obviously got your gunpowder gamble, your trip man grenade or whatever grenade you want to run as well to also scorch. Your scorching capabilities and igniting capabilities are second to none. Like, honestly, way better than a warlock with your Dawn Chorus builds. It's just easy mode. Just throw your knife, guys. That's it. That's all you have to do. And like I said, you've got your gunpowder gamble, your heirloom or burning ambition weapons. I'm going to say it one more time before I leave it. Get yourself on heirloom. Listen to Duddits. Heirloom is absolutely shredding right now. It causes instant ignitions on its own half the time. And if you don't get that ignition from your gunpowder gamble or your trip man, just stick a charged heirloom shot in there and then everything else will ignite. But it's the knife is your main source of your ignitions, obviously. And like I said, guys, proper easy to do. I'm going to show you all my fragments and stuff in a moment, but just in the comments, let me know if you're happy with this. Let me know what you think. Is it back to where it was, Caliban's? I believe it is, and I believe it's actually better than what it is, because Caliban's had a couple of little buffs as well. Clearing out rooms like this, like areas and GMs, look at all them ignitions at the back. Chained ignitions, guys. It's just an absolute joke. Really, really strong. Got one more little clip to show you, and then I'm also going to show you my fragments, which are very important for ignitions as well. There's a certain set of ignition fragments that will help the ignitions big time. They'll start off with a Seedle Artifact perk, which we have touched on. The Hunter's Journal. I've got Solar Fulmination and Radiant Orbs there, your main ones there. The rest don't really matter too much. And my stats are perfect because I've only just managed to farm them out. On your mark, this is going to give you Cure. I've done a couple of videos on this last couple of seasons. You get Restoration on that, Gunpowder Gamble, which is just absolutely disgusting. You can run any grenade you want. Your Proximity Explosive Knife is what you want with Calibans. You must run that. Fragments, Ember of Torches, because we're throwing so many knives, we're going to be infinitely radiant. We're going to run Ember of Ashes. This one is very important for your ignitions. You're going to apply more Scorch stacks. This next one, important for ignitions, Ember of Char, your solar ignition spread Scorch, and then Ember of Eruption. They all need to be on to cause them massive ignitions. And then Ember of Solace to make our Radiant and Restoration have an increased duration. There's my mods on my arms, things like that. So with regarding my stats again, like I said, I just farmed this gear set out yesterday. I need a couple more pieces to really max the build out. I'm probably going to run about 130, 140 grenade. 120, 130 melee, and I'm just going to dump the rest into weapon stats, but it's going to take me a few days to farm it out. Very, very strong build, guys. Caliban's is back. Hunters, indeed, go boom boom. And like I said at the beginning, or halfway through the video, sorry, it's easy. Like, I know I've seen a lot of Warlocks blowing things up with the Dawn Chorus and the Helions. This is just so easy to do. Like, throw your knife, and that's it. I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.